It is, yes. Probably in Russia at the time, it was maybe more overdressed, but it was 20 years ago. I don't know what it's like now. From what I see, it sort of has become quite European style. But at the time, because Russia was going through some turbulent stage of its development, the Soviet Union has collapsed, and there was big transition into becoming a Russian Federation. So people all of a sudden got access to, to freedom of speech, freedom of dressing, and dressing up has become something to aspire to in Russia at the time, in 90s or end of 90s. And yes, so that's very dressed. People aspired to dress up to the nines, even if they went out to a shop, to bakery, to buy bread or a piece of bread or something, to put the makeup on. So you can see, yes, the Australian, that it's very, can be very relaxed, and Australians are very friendly. And and the fact that they have so many different cultures interlaced, in Australia as a country, there are Italians, there are Greeks, there are so many different cultures, and Australians are very accepting and welcoming. And so that's made, I think, the transition so much easier. What I found very, I guess, different, me as a Russian being brought up at the time, don't speak up, don't I guess do or what people tell you to do.
Oh, the people tell you, you don't question your parents.
You don't question now, and
very similar.
Yes. Sort of you don't praise yourself. You don't say, what you achieved, how well you're doing. Don't. However, here it's quite common, particularly now.
It is.
To say, I'm winning here and there, and so there's a bit of difference. And I think there is a good thing actually to acknowledge, that you're winning. You're doing, to praise yourself. Yes.
I tell you, I found that difficult even now. I think it's just in the past year that I said, you know what, I've worked so hard.
Yes.
I have worked so hard, and I think somebody just pissed me off where, where I was feeling good about myself, was so much that I've done, and then somebody just said something. Since then, I have always, every time I don't want to praise myself, or I'm like, you know what, I've worked so hard. Sometimes I worked, especially last year, maybe 16 hours, and my kids and my husband would be telling me that you work so hard. And I said, no, I will acknowledge myself. I will do this because I've earned it.
Yes,
I've earned it. I've put in so much work, and if no one is going to acknowledge me, or if somebody says this, I will acknowledge myself. Yes. And every time I do something, sometimes I'm very shy to actually put myself out there, especially before. But now, every time I want to do, because again, it's a mindset. I had a session with one of our networks, Annette, who actually encouraged me to do that. You can be able to acknowledge that you've sweated for this, and you earned it, you've worked hard, and you can do that. But previously, I would just bring in people and promote people, and I would leave myself out. Seriously, like even up to now, like something happening, I'm just like, no. And then I remember that, no, I should be able to also acknowledge myself, because I've put in so much work. I've worked so hard. So yes. I've earned it.
Absolutely. And it's so important, so for day-to-day experience of life, to actually live life, not to run away from life. It's so important to say, yes, I've done well something, or, it's like, oh gosh, I've done that thing today. Or this is great, to really, to notice it, to put effort into noticing and saying how well you've done, because our brain constantly looks for evidence, that we are moving forward, or what's the progress. Are we?
Yeah. So why aren't we acknowledging ourselves? Why aren't we giving ourselves those pep talks and just be inspired? I'm like, I've done
absolutely. This. Yes. And celebrating ourselves, and I think it's very important. Definitely.
Yeah. So now going back to your journey to where you are. So what prompted you